Welcome back to another edition of the B4evaKool podcast. My name is Rex45, and tonight is Wednesday, so it's the Vroom Wednesday, a little bit more laid back. I'm out of witness protection, but not quite home yet. Hopefully next time you see me, I'll be home. We got a lot to catch up on with these guys tonight. So without further ado, let's bring them in one at a time and see what's going on. Smitty, man, welcome to the show. What's good, man? I see you got Honda on. I know you're ready. We already done talk off here, man. What's good?
Not much at all. Everything is going pretty good down here in the Atlanta, Georgia. Weather's good. It was a good weekend of racing. I'm doing good, so no complaints at all right now. So everything is in motion, so can't complain.
Right. Is that because of the weekend or of what your boy did?
We'll get into that later on, but yes.
All right, no doubt. TJ, what's good, man? Welcome to the show. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. Had a great weekend watching the motorsports, and this New England, we had a breath of good weather. So got some energy. Started ordering my last minute parts. Trying to get my street bike ready to go, and the track bike's almost good to go. So almost ready for my time to get on the track in the street.
Oh man, listen, man, I interviewed this guy from Fort Lauderdale area. His first bike was a Jigsaw 2008 1000. Made me think of you. So it's good that you're getting the street bike ready to go and the track bike, man. Look, we're gonna keep it moving because we got a lot to talk about tonight on this show. Jordan, what's good, man? You ready for Motor America? You got the shirt on. What's good, man?
Oh, yeah, no doubt, man. I am ready for some racing. I am behind the 8 ball right about now. TJ got his bike going together, man. I need to get my bike back together. I don't have my Yamaha shirt on today, but it's all good. But I'm almost finished rebuilding my R1, get that puppy back on the street, maybe do a couple more track days. But dude, now is the weather is on and popping. It is motorcycle weekend right now, post Daytona weekend.
Listen, man, I don't got a Yamaha shirt on either, but I got a wolf on a motorcycle, so I'm feeling kind of wild out here in Seattle, man. So we're gonna keep this thing moving. Oh, and Bobby Shakes, last but not least, Mr. Purple. What's good, man?
How you doing? I make my own macaroni. So here's an egg.
Okay.
This egg's a Yamaha, and you crack it open. You take your yellow out, and you put it in your flour, because you can't just be Ducati fanboy. You have to actually be Italian and actually cook. So I make my macaroni from scratch.
Okay.
You guys call it pasta, but yeah.
All right. It's kind of the same thing. I see you're ready. So you're getting your Italian on, right? So welcome, fellas, man. Welcome to the show. I think we all got our own chef hats, Shakes, but I see where you're coming from. Let's start with Smitty, man. What do you think? What are your thoughts of this the sprint race? And the main race. I know you kind of predicted that Marquez is going to run away with the season.
Yeah.
But let's hear what you guys say, man.
But first, I got to change my name to Smitty Damas. Predict the future. So let's start there for starters, man. I know what's going
Smitty Damas.
So
I like it. I like it.
Smitty Damas. And let's backtrack to practice and qualifying.
Okay. Let's go.
Mark dominated everything. As I said, the week before, same thing. Practice, qualifying, sprint, and the actual race, Mark. I mean, so not to beat a dead horse, but it was an easy win for the guy. He won by 2 seconds after he passed his brother, a couple laps to go. Pecco, nowhere to be seen, struggling to catch Mark. So, like I said before, to me, the season, they're all fighting, for second place right now because Mark is going to win by a long shot. In my one, prediction, Mark will set the record for most points and wins in a season, barring any DNFs or crashes.
Wow.
That is my prediction. Most points and most wins.
All right. We're going to hold it right there because I got a lot to say about that right there. TJ, man, what are your thoughts about practice? I mean, are you on board like what Smitty's saying as far as like if Mark stays healthy, everybody else might as well stay home?
Yes.
Pretty much, man. Like you see, I don't own a Ducati, but I'll be repping the Ducati, my hat here. But yeah, Mark is just looking flawless right now. I mean, I was actually just thinking about last year. I mean, 2 years ago when he was on the Honda, and how much he was relying on a toe. Just kind of prove a point how much he needed for the bike, and just how much he hasn't even relied on a toe at all this year, and he's just putting out laps where it's just untouchable right now. And I feel that he's putting the fear in the guys, where it's just going to be hard to come back. He's going to just blow them out of the water. We're going to Coda, and we all know that he's technically the king of Coda. So I'm very interested to see if he can pull out basically a three-peat, taking practice, qualifying, and sprint and GP. So I think he can do it.
All right, listen, man. Atlanta, Boston, Jordan. What's good, man? What are you saying, man? I mean, come on. Is it a foregone conclusion? I mean, there are a lot of other guys that look good out on that racetrack, man. You Team Marquez? No, you're not Team Marquez. So you're on my side.
No. I've never been Team Marquez, and I'll say it again. I never will be Team Marquez. He did win considerably, and even from from the past 2 weeks, even last race, it was just not say a runaway because he did have tire issues, from getting the tire too cool, so he had to pull back, let his brother tow him in so that he can get his temperature up, so he can finish the race and not get penalized because the tire was too cool and all that BS that was going on with that. But this race, like I said, he pretty much hand down. And like Smitty said, not that he gave a big whooping, but he definitely walked away with this one hands down. I couldn't really take anything too much away from him this weekend. Besides, somebody needs to step up. There was a couple of guys just literally 5 seconds, 7 seconds away. D'Antonio and Zarco. It's kind of like, we haven't said too much about Honda and the VR46 team, but it's kind of like they're nipping at the tails. And if they just get their stuff together, they'll be able to, put up a fight. Smitty was talking about a sweep. I'm not going to hold my breath on that just yet, but I do think he's going to come pretty close to it. I think he's going to probably win the championship by a landslide.
Well, if you can, at least hold your breath until Shake speaks. Shakes, what are your thoughts, man? I mean, is it like these guys are saying, or you see a different outcome?
Like I said, oh boy, I think the conversation should be for the rest of the season is Alex. What is Mark doing to his brother? Is he prepping him to continue the legacy? Because we already know that this is Mark's this is his year. What is Alex gonna do? Is he prepping him? Is he schooling him? Like, what is he actually doing? And like I said, I don't think another factory will be on the podium this year. I mean, look, right? 1 through 5, all Ducati.
Yeah,
I don't think another factory will even podium this year, because I'm not even going to say what I was going to say because I don't want to put that juju out there.
Actually, I don't believe that.
I mean, you don't have to believe it, but we're seeing it, right?
Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's jump right into it. I don't think another factory will podium this season.
Okay.
So
yeah, no doubt. I'm a Ducati guy, so I hope that's the case. But we're doing this thing, and we have to be neutral to some degree, and talk about what's really happening. Let's look at Honda. I mean, Honda, started third place on the grid. Zarco's looking really well. I mean, Honda's done well at even a bad Honda won at Coda with Rins. So do you guys think the same thing? Like, is it let's go buy stock in Ducati because we're gonna do like Tom Brady did with Randy Moss and go 18-0 or 22-0?
I mean, maybe 21-1. To go 22-0 is kind of unrealistic.
Right.
You may get a rain race in that plays a part. You may get a DNF timeout. Something may happen that's not his fault. Or Pecco might try to take him out, crash old Bagnaia, you know what I'm saying? So
he hasn't crashed this year, man.
Not yet. Not yet.
Go ahead.
No, I say 20-2 minus the sprints, which counts a little bit different. So
all right.
Record-setting year.
Okay, TJ, man. Honda doesn't have a chance. Aprilia doesn't have a chance. I think those right now for just 2 rounds are the only 2 bikes that are pecking at the bits for Ducati. What are your thoughts there, man? Is it just we're doing the run?
No, I don't think so. I mean, there's going to be a chance where somebody's going to pull one off if it's either a sprint or a GP race. From the looks of it, it's going to be a long way for Yamaha. So I'm hoping like they'll pull something out, but that'll be hard. But Honda's looking pretty good. Like you said, Zarco ran really well. I think he has the best chance to get a podium for any manufacturer that's out there. And then I'm hopefully when Aprilia can get their things right and the bugs out, and especially when Martin comes back, hopefully down the end of the road, he'll be up there as well because his mentality. So I don't think Ducati's going to have a clean sweep through 22 rounds of racing. So.
Okay. I mean, there's 6 of them on the grid. Jordan, I know you want somebody else to win.
Last year was 8. We got 2 less, so better chance.
Right. And last year, what was it? Aprilia was the only one that beat Ducati last year?
Yeah.
that was it at Coda. Jordan, what are your thoughts, man? I mean, is there another man? It should have just be, Ducati, GP, like Top Rack says for World Superbike.
Everyone's been talking about how many bikes we have on the grid that are Ducatis. Fine Grain Danny, you have like 4 different teams, 8 bikes that are all Ducatis. There's still a chance. Not saying it's going to be a clean sweep like everybody says. I don't think so either. But it's a very good chance that KTM can pull something out of the hat. They did a good run at Silverstone. Honda, they had some bugs that they had to work out, but as long as they keep their I'm not sure if they lost a technician or not, but they had a really good technician. So if they can get that on board, then they can at least win all that. Aprilia, like I said, if Martinez, the machine can really come back and really put the stamp back on there on his racing and on his, not just his team, but back on himself and back on the paddock, and let everybody know, I got this number 1 plate here for a reason. You're going to have to earn it to get it off there. I think he's going to be coming back and definitely fighting for keeping the number 1 plate on not just his machine, but his new machine on Aprilia.
All right. Before I bring you in, Shakes, because you started this round with one of your comments about what's going to happen. I agree with, Jordan and TJ as well. I don't think that it's a foregone conclusion they're going to win every round. I do think that Zarco is pretty hungry, and I think he may have a shot next weekend. If I was Honda, we would be looking at Coda to try to sneak out a win because they were able to do it once before. Aprilia, I hope Martin comes back, but I think it's going to take him a little bit to get comfortable on a bike. We see, I think Bezzecchi got a better chance of a win before Martin because he's more healthy. I think that Ayaguro, if he doesn't get hacked next again, might have a chance up there as well. But Shakes, I want to put this to you. I want to put this to the guys actually, Shakes, because you said something about what Marquez is doing to Alex Marquez. Is he prepping them for the future? Before we go back to you, Shakes, do you guys think that the Marquez clan is up to something? Let me start
I
with
don't see
Smitty.
how. I don't see how it's being.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Let me hear it.
I said, yes, he's doing it. I mean, it's two races in a row to where he's catering to his brother. It's kind of like, dude, really? I mean, I understand the civil rivalry, all happy horse stuff, but he's on a different team. Yeah, he's on the same make and model of the bike, but he's on a different team. But it's kind of like, I want to see racing to race. I want to see, Valentino and what's his name bumping elbows and giving each other the finger and stuff like that. Dude, I want to see hardcore racing, not I'm going to give my brother a freaking win or give him the lead just so I can pull out behind him 3 laps later and get the win. I want to see some real racing. I'm not going for that.
Okay, but hold on now. Even though it's just Alex, we're talking about now, for the most part, up until this past 2 races, he's been a solid but average rider. You agree?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Average.
So his speed that he has now, so let's say, this past race, he led the first, 12 laps, something like that? If he's just kind of catering, say it again?
12 and a half, about 12 and a half laps.
But hang on one second, Smitty. Let's be accurate. Mark messed up, made a mistake, and Alex passed him. He didn't give it up this time.
Okay, true. But even with him being, leading, I'm talking about Alex, no one could even catch him. He's on some other level also now. I don't know what happened to Alex this past off season, but he's changed. He's like a legit fast rider now. I don't know if it's he just matured or he's faster than Pecco right now, and on a lesser bike.
I think that Mark is helping, like Shapes is saying, and I think where the Honda was a bad bike, they couldn't help each other there. Where they both had the same amount of year on a bike, so. And for these guys, right, it's just small tweaks, right? They're not learning how to ride. It's just small tweaks that these guys has to fix. And keep in mind, the Panigale is a really good bike to train on. We've heard it from Pecco all along. So it is one of the best bikes to train on if you have to train on production bike versus a MotoGP bike. And if you watch if you ever watched the press conference, they're all fast in different areas of the track. So they still like one rider hasn't mastered the whole track yet. But go ahead. I didn't mean to. I just wanted to add that.
Well, no, you're good. You're good. But my point, my only point was that Alex took a huge jump this year, and I don't know what's got into him. I mean, you could say Mark is helping him with the tweaks or data or to understand the bike, but I don't think that's true because even their lines are different. So Mark helping him to understand how the bike should work. It should work on a line that Mark uses, but it's not because you saw this past race. Some turns, Alex was real tight. Mark was kind of in wide, in tight, kind of. So they riding different also.
Right. So, the riding styles are a little bit different.
Right. So the fact that those guys behind them can't even catch Alex now, because Alex beat Pecco by 3 seconds also. That's a huge gap. It's not small.
Well, yeah. I mean, we can't look at Pecco because Morbidelli was behind him, and Morbidelli.
Well, Frank,
but let's go to TJ before we talk about Morbidelli and some of these other guys that really showed up. Again, is it just Alex coming into his own, like what Smitty's saying, TJ, or more like Mark is saying, hey, let me show you where you can. Even though we got different riding styles, let me show you where you could, what you should be doing, or even just understanding the data.
I mean, he's definitely understanding something right now. I mean, just going off of last year, he's like the biggest shock to me of this year. I mean, especially he's pretty much close to having a clean sweep throughout the weekend if it wasn't for his brother, even from the first round. So there's something that he's figured out or some data that he has, hoping that he can continue what he's doing. I mean, the fact that he's won, got second place at a track that they didn't race last year, also speaks too. So, I mean, you can never say it's a fluke, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm kind of expecting him to drop off a little bit because, where's the Pecco? Where is Bezzecchi? Where's all these other guys to give the fight, like Jordan was saying? they're just not in the picture. Where's Brad Bender, Fabio? So it's tough for all the manufacturers. So Coda's going to be a fun track to figure out. It's more ups and downs, like the hills and stuff like that. I think Argentina was more of a flat, but a faster track. So, but Coda is just as fast.
Okay. Jordan, you want to add your 2 cents before we move on?
Oh, you know I'm gonna add my 2 cents. Come on now, man. Like TJ said, Coda is going to be a really, really good race for everyone to almost almost level the playing field. With Argentina, it kind of reminded me a little bit, almost a lot, like Japan's race, Motegi, where it's pretty much flat. It's just stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. Like 2 corners, it looked almost like Motegi to me. So, I mean, Coda is going to be a real game changer for a lot of the teams to step up. A lot of people's going to have a lot of data there. So, I mean, there's going to have a lot of information that they'll be able to pull out. So I want to see what's really going to happen. And like I said, I think I do agree with Smitty. I think Alex has definitely, something's clicked to where he's getting faster, or I'll say a lot faster than what he was. I mean, he was mid-pack, maybe top 10, maybe somewhere in there, and all of a sudden he's right behind his brother, and it's kind of like, what changed? What happened? But like TJ said, he was on the Honda, and they had it to the limit. They was almost at a ceiling, to where it's kind of like we can't do anything more with it. So it's kind of like, okay,
right.
And I think that's pretty much what happened with them. But I'm like TJ said, Quartararo, 14th, not happy with that. Rins, 11th. He's supposed to be champion, 11th. Acosta did 8th. That's not bad, but Bender did 7th. Giantonio, I was really happy with him. Morbidelli, I told him Morbidelli, I like him. Hopefully he can keep his head in the game and keep consistency, and I think he'll be in a track fund. Yeah, and get out of that stuff also. Yeah, get out of the politics stuff also, and he'll be up there, hopefully battling with the Marquez brothers, because I'm almost starting to get tired of even saying the Marquez brothers.
Right. Don't be sorry, man. You're almost stealing my thunder, because that was going to be my question to Shakes. Who else do you think can stop the Marquez brother? You mentioned a bunch of people there, Shakes, already, so I don't need to go down a list that Jordan just mentioned. At some point you have to manage your race and not push, because you have to finish. You have to think about the championship and have to win points. So at some point, I assume some of these guys decided that, okay, I'm going to settle in and get the points and so forth, and not necessarily try to make a mistake. Because as once you're a few seconds in front of somebody, unless they make a mistake or you run through the tires, it's going to be really hard to run them down. So Shakes, is there anybody else out there in the MotoGP world that can actually, put a stop to the Marquez brother without necessarily doing, was it a Nancy Kerrigan?
Wow, Nancy Kerrigan, you just showed your age. Nancy Kerrigan. Wow. Tanya Harding.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. What was that, like the 1974 Olympics?
It might have been the 74.
No, in the 90s.
I didn't, statute of limitation, man. I didn't want to, call out.
Okay. It's obvious. Aprilia's playing at a handicap. Okay. So we don't know yet. But the elephant in the room, the discussion is Pecco. Where is Pecco? Like Bagnaia, he is the Marquez brothers stopper, and he can't get it together. Is it in his head? Can he get out of his head? Like, what is going on? Like, we thought he was going to get 3rd place, and then you're just seeing him. It's like sleight of hands. I don't know what was it. The wind? Was there like an imaginary guy on his helmet, like stopping them from moving forward? Pecco is the killer, but he can't get out of his own way.
Right.
But I don't
Let me just say this, Shakes. in last year after Coda, he only scored 50 points.
Right.
This year after Argentina, he has 43 points. He's having a better season this year than last year. So and MotoGP is not Pecco versus the Marquez brothers. There's a whole other bunch of riders there, and unfortunately, Martin is out, so he should be the one defending the title, not Pecco, right? In all fairness, and so I do feel like Pecco is getting a brunt of what the Marquez brothers doing, and everybody else is, manufacturer issues or whatever issues. But realistically, there's 20-something other riders that should be sitting here saying, "Yo, I need to be up front."
Can I play conspiracy theorist here?
Sure, why not? You got glasses on that's protecting you from the universe.
So who gets that factory seat then? If Pecco can't step up, do we boot him out and give it to Alex?
No, it's not going to happen. No, it's not going to happen.
Why not?
He got 2 rings with them, and they haven't had one since 2007, 2009 when Casey did it. They're not getting rid of Pecco, bro.
I hope this is being recorded, and I hope this is being recorded, and I hope that this is being dated. I'm telling you right now.
Sorry, I forgot to hit the record button.
I'm telling you right now. I am telling you right now. If Pecco does not start getting higher podiums, that's Alex's seat. I see the conspiracy theory. I see it. I see Mark is like, "Yo, bro, this is your seat." That's his seat. That's
but Mark is talking about his bike, not Pecco's bike.
Yeah, but Pecco's bike belongs to Alex, and I'm saying that right now. That's a bold take. It's a hot take. It's a hot take, but I'm gonna say it.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to pose it to the panel. What do you guys think about that?
I mean,
it's go ahead, TJ. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, Pecco's gonna definitely come into form. I think for right now, Marquez is just out of his world. So like he has his Pecco strategy to win a race is like for him to start Mark Marquez is a whole nother strategy. So I think he's just going with his game plan. But Bobby Shakes, I see where you're going with this. Like the way Mark eased his way into this factory seat and the way Alex is riding now, if he can continue this the whole year and say Pecco doesn't have a good year, I don't think it'll happen right away, but you know.
It ain't happening.
I can see the conspiracy. That's all I'm saying.
It ain't happening. I'm just saying it ain't happening. So I
see what Mark's doing. He got the power.
What are your thoughts, Smitty? You think that this is? I don't even know why we're talking about it, but we're talking about it.
No, so tell you what. But you made a great point. You said that besides Pecco, there are 20 plus other riders out there that aren't talking about who should be up front. And it's like sometimes we get caught up in the whole Marquez versus Pecco thing. But to be honest, Martin is the champion. So it's like we're giving Pecco an unfair criticism right now. He's not the champion. But the reason why, he is on the best bike in the paddock right now. So he should be up front.
They all are.
Nah, come on.
Ducati. They all are Ducati. The 6 Ducatis are pretty much.
No, he's on Pecco's on the 25, 45.
It's a hybrid bike. It's a hybrid bike. It's not
24, 25, whatever. But it should still be a better bike than the 24.
Thank you.
Or at least the same as Mark's bike, pending the setup is different. So
right. I guess Did Antonio, Pecco, and Marquez got the same bike officially?
Did you also?
Yeah. Digi, okay. And then the 2 factory, because Ducati only gave 325 bikes, and Digi did better than Morbidelli's first year on BR, so they couldn't get a better bike.
So I feel, but that's why people like myself, we're getting Pecco a hard time, and it's unfair. I get it, but But
yeah,
what I'm going to say,
it is and it isn't, because he crashed out a lot the previous few years. Right. So I think there's something there, because he literally could have won last year if he didn't crash out as much as he did. And as you call him, what do you call him? What's your name for? Crash
Naya, man.
Exactly. so I think as fans, you know, we and obviously I'm pretty sure he wants to make fewer mistakes as well.
Yeah.
But I think we're kind of caught up in that emotion of, man, he always, you know, making mistakes, but he hasn't made any mistakes. He just hasn't beat Marquez yet.
Fair point. But
Jordan,
you know what's totally funny? And I'm gonna go way left field with this one, totally off topic.
Let's go conspiracy.
No, it's not conspiracy, but Valentino Rossi's pissed off right now. The reason why you would think in his perfect world, a couple years ago, him and Luca would have been, you know, running side by side, winning races. Nah, it's the Marquez brothers. You know, he hates Marquez.
Yeah.
So
I can see that.
He's probably mad seeing those two brothers, you know, be 1 and 2, and not him and Luca. You know.
Yeah, I can see that, and but let's talk about these other riders now. And Jordan, before I don't want to skip over you as well. If you want to add your 2 cents to that, but you know, we'll Morbidelli, you know, Zarco. I think Pedro's there because he's fighting. I think Bender's there because they're fighting. Di Antonio's there. And Bezecchi's there. So these are like 6 guys that I think Rins has a chance as well, obviously. And even Mir is riding the best he has ridden on a Honda. So, you know, those guys are going to, you know, help Pecco out.
Okay. I mean, if they clog everything up like they normally do, then yeah, I mean, he's going to have to cut through them like he's had in the past year. Because I mean, his qualifying last year was not the greatest. So I mean, with this year, I think there's going to be a little bit more bashing, a little bit more bar bending, stuff like that. Like I said, you guys covered a lot from what I was going to say, so I was kind of like, yeah, I think hopefully Bender, Zarco, Gian Antonio, obviously Bagnaia, Morbidelli. Hopefully Rins can get out of his little thing. Luca also, I'm not even sure about Jack anymore. Jack was supposed to be, you know, supposedly the savior, as well as Vinales. We haven't harped on that either. Vinales was supposed to be,
talk about it.
You know, I mean, he was supposed to do it, or he's supposed to at least try to do it. And last 2 races, he was sub-10s. So I was kind of like, okay, what are you doing? What are you, you know, giving? Like we talked about last week. It's just like, dude, if you're not going to do it, give somebody else a seat. We got some more younger guys up here that's hungry for it. Get up out of there. He's been in MotoGP for almost 10 years now. Okay, you're done. Get up out of here.
Yeah, Vinales, Bastianini, and Jack Miller, right? Is it more just? I mean, they're all on new bikes though. So is it more just a matter of, again, you know, maybe when they get to Europe, they'll feel more comfortable, or just more seat time on the bike?
I have to agree with more seat time, because I mean, the more seat time you have, the more comfortable, the more data you're able to do, the more you're able to tweak the bike, you know, left or right, in and out, you know, twist, you know, I guess 1 turn in, 1 turn out, and kind of get the bike dialed in. But I mean, everybody here, besides the 2 manufacturers, has been almost on every track that we have been in, besides, you know, the new tracks, have been on every single track. So they have some type of data. It's a matter of if the rider can push through and catch up with the Marquez brothers.
Okay. Bobby Shakes. I mean, you know, I know you say let's get rid of these guys. Well, actually, that's Smitty that says that, but I think you're co-signing on that too. What's your 2 cents, man?
You know what? I don't want to cause any more problems. I'm not going to cause them any problems. Zarco, I was really impressed with his riding over the weekend. I don't want to wave the Ducati hat because I don't want to drum up any more problems on the show. I was really hoping that Zarco would have shown. Obviously, the Honda didn't just have it because those, I'm not going to say their name anymore. I'm not even going to say the bike. The bike had a little bit more power. I'm not even going to say I can't even say the bike anymore because I feel like I'm going to get ostracized. But I was really hoping for Zarco. And I like the guy's name, Quartararo. I just like the name. I like the name. But
it is a cool name.
It's a really cool name. But
Quartararo.
I'm not going to say anymore. I don't want to cause any problems, but we all know what it is. I mean, if you look at it, 1 through 5,
1 through 5.
What do you want? What do you want? What do you honestly think? And I know you got to be politically correct here, but what do you on the honest outlook? Do you honestly see anything else than those guys winning?
Honestly, no, honestly. I do not. No, I don't. But however, so those bikes are kind of, they're built, they're developed. There's not much more those bikes, could do anymore. They're kind of maxed out ceiling wise. Maybe a couple hundreds of seconds here and there, but that's it. The Honda now, last year, I ain't gonna lie, with the trash bike. The year before that, when Mark was crashing, it was double trash. But this year, it's different. It's a different bike. Now, the bike is not nowhere near as good as the Ducati, but besides Ducati, Honda was the first place bike that finished. Besides, they beat Aprilia, Yamaha, and KTM. Right. And I think because this bike is kind of new and still being built, they're still, let's say, on the 10th floor. They got 10 floors to go to get better. As opposed, with the other bike, they're on floor 19 already. There's not much growth for the Ducati at all. So Honda, will they win? No, but podium for sure. Yes. Zarco will.
I have to agree with you. I have to agree with you that they still have some potential left on there. And hopefully with Yamaha, they've got their new motor. They got the new motor in there. So hopefully Yamaha can get their stuff together and actually fight with them also. Like I said, Quattraro. It just sounds like a good name. Another Quattraro. So I want to see him get up there.
Well, I know Fabio was definitely ready for this GP race, but he had an unfortunate incident that caused him to go run in the back with Bezzecchi running into him. Also, Zarco had it. If it wasn't for Digi taking that spot at the last minute to have that Ducati lockout, I really think Honda. I mean, I'm not a Honda fan like Smitty, but I really think Honda is secretly onto something. Zarco obviously is a good mentor. Joan Mir, for having the season that he's had the past 2 years to actually having a good start to this year, his confidence has to be through the roof. I'm just waiting to see Luca Marini to be Luca Marini. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard to see any of those guys get a first place unless it's Zarco. Do want to see Fabio, show what that Yamaha can do, since we heard a lot about it over the winter, but it's going to be tough.
All right, okay. Let's talk about Ayagura and the hacking situation, as I like to call it. What are your thoughts on that? Should he have been disqualified? I don't believe it would have been his mistake, because I'm pretty sure he's not the guy that's touching the bike like that.
Right. Okay, so yes and no. The no part is, did he do it on purpose? No. But rules are rules. You can't say that, my team gave my bike 100 more horsepower, it's not my fault, I don't keep my spot. But from what I heard, it was a software thing that mattered during testing, not now. There was no gain from it. So I don't see why they took his spot away.
Okay. What are your thoughts, TJ? Oh, my bad.
But what I would say, that Pecco needs some Marquez software to make his bike faster. Something, man.
Man. I'm still confused about this software
that Marquez software.
Yeah, you definitely need that double M software, MM93.
Okay.
But yeah,
version 4.
They still running
videos. I still understand it. It's like we heard at the end, which is weird. I mean, obviously, I don't know when he found out, or I don't know, but obviously it's not his fault. So I don't know. We should penalize the rider. Maybe penalize them after the fact with something else or something like a fine, maybe. But
right.
If they gain no advantage, then I just don't understand. I don't understand why.
I'll use the analogy of the steroids in baseball. You still got to connect with that baseball to the baseball to the bat. No matter how strong you are. I can't imagine as a rookie rider that I can see Marquez or Pecco like Smitty saying having this software to really take advantage of it. But as a new rider, from my understanding, they kind of dumb those bikes down anyway, so that way they don't have to worry about as much things as a seasoned rider. So it is kind of weird that they would, kind of make that mistake on it, and they didn't make the mistake in the sprint race. And he didn't chuck the bike down the road to say where they had to rebuild.
Right.
So that's my 2 cents on that. But let me hear what you got to say, Jordan.
I kind of, not say I'm on the fence, because like Smitty said, rules are rules, and I understand that. Tire pressure rules, electronic rules. I mean, all of the teams have been playing by these ongoing rules for ages. So here's my take on it. The electronic guy doing his job, whatever it may be, dumb it down or give him full power, whatever it is, to penalize the rider who doesn't touch it, who doesn't know how to program it, who doesn't do anything with it, and to penalize him, I think it's a little bit harsh. Not to say if the technician knew what he was doing and either purposely or mishap, whatever the case may be, doing something illegal, there has to be some type of penalty or some type of punishment. I don't know if they need to fine the software technician $10,000. Let the rider ride. And like I said, mostly if he has no advantage from the software, what's the point? What's the point of giving him a penalty if he's riding with 10 pounds on the back or 5 pounds of pressure on the front tire? It's kind of, if you're going to make a rule or if you're going to make a penalty, have the penalty serve the purpose. I don't think this penalty served the purpose.
Okay. All right. Shakes, you're sort of a software guy.
So then who do we blame?
Technician.
Who do we blame?
You
can't blame the technician.
Everyone else had the right software.
Yeah, you can't blame the technician. You got to blame the rider. He's the one that's riding the bike.
He didn't know it's there, though. You think he's checking to see what version of the software is?
Only thing he does is flip a switch.
Yeah,
Come on.
That's what he does is flip a switch, and he changes.
He doesn't even start his bike.
I can't. No. Then everybody can start to do that. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Then everybody starts pointing fingers. The rules are the rules. The rules are the rules. You penalize the rider, and that's it. Then the rider could go back to the paddock and say, "Hey, listen, guys, you're doing something wrong." But we can't have this form of cheating, and then everybody's pointing fingers. Somebody's got to be held responsible, because if you find the team. No big deal, different sport, right? But F1, the same thing with Red Bull, right? Oh, we're going to fine the team. Well, no, we're not finding the team. We want to take away points from the driver and the rider, because you should be aware of what's going on. I don't buy into that. I mean, what does ChatGPT say? Come on, Rex.
Come on, listen, man, listen.
I got a question.
Come on.
Go ahead.
I got a question. So, with all the buttons that they got to push with, control and ride height device, do you think, do they have like software control? Wouldn't that have to be in place before like you get out there? Or is it something that they can change on the fly? Like
they can change on the fly to different mappings. So,
but the mapping is already preloaded.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So we don't know if it's an operating system issue, or if it's just a mapping issue, just having the wrong map in there or something like that. The fact that I think it's there in their race bike doesn't make sense, because it probably shouldn't be in the first place. And it shakes, it's rare that the team get fined for stuff. It's usually the rider that's usually being punished for stuff, which and sometimes some of the mistakes is on the team, because like when they choose when they choose the wrong tire or the wrong mapping or whatever, it's the rider that gets all the blame. But
Right.
they're not the one alone that's making some of these decisions, and especially they got a boss, so they're not making all the decisions on their own.
What happened to the sprint?
Say again?
No, I'm saying, what about the sprint? Like he
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Sprint.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned. The sprint it wasn't an issue in the sprint. It was only in the main race.
Yeah.
Okay, that's odd. So they put it in afterwards also. That's strange.
Again. And
okay.
Why? Because
right.
he finished in front of those other guys in the sprint.
That's strange. Okay, yeah, I noticed that.
A quick comment and a quick observation. Remember a couple of years ago when they had the new tarmac, I can't remember which race it was, Marc Marquez stayed out an extra lap and completely disqualified the whole team. That was the driver making the mistake. The team took the blame also because they said we inadvertently told him to stay out an extra lap, or we miscounted the laps.
Right.
So he stood out one lap longer than he was supposed to. And when he got into the pits, they stopped him and said, "You guys are done. You already knew the rules." So the driver supposedly made the mistake and stayed out. Now this time, the team made the mistake. Why are we penalizing the driver?
True.
This is what we're talking about it. No, I don't. I think something like that is on the team because I don't think the rider is sitting here loading his software. It's like, I mean, that's, ergonomics, tire choices is the rider. But anything else is a whole bunch of engineers.
They should have worded it differently, because it wasn't. I don't think it was Igore's fault. And it's definitely they took his spot away. So it should be it should have been like Aprilia is gonna be reduced one spot,
right.
Instead of saying it's on him.
Right. Well, it does affect Aprilia too, because in the team championship and the manufacturers championship, they hit there, but he's also hit for individual points as well. So in a sense, I guess it is punishing everyone, but it's the way it's worded, and that's the unfortunate side. And it doesn't bode well. And again, why wouldn't you do it on not Maverick, on Bezecchi's bike or any of these other guys' bike if that's the case? Because you can't expect your rookie to be winning a race. And I assume if you're going to do something like that, you're trying to game the system and win.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
All right. That's what's up. So let's talk about Coda. Coda's coming up before we get out of here. We'll probably talk about it a little bit next week, but who really needs to start figuring things out right now? Obviously the Marquez brothers, they just got to figure out when Alex is going to win. But who needs other teams that really need to start, showing that they're here in they're here, and especially if they want to win a championship, because every point counts.
Go ahead, Smitty. Start it off because I can't wait. Go ahead, Smart.
I'm with Smitty. I know what he's going to say, and I'm with him.
Tell you what, it kind of goes back to what I said to start the show off. Everybody else they're racing for second place. So anybody but Mark, they got to figure things out. It's that simple. Okay. Whether it's Bezecchi, Deji, Pecco, figure it out. Frankie, get on it, And
Frankie's figuring it out.
And we all know that's right. And we all know that Mark likes left-hand tracks. Well, Coda's the left-dominant track. So I predict a 6-second victory.
Okay.
Let's go 5. 5
seconds. Okay.
I put 5 on it. I put 5 on it. I put 5 on it.
5 on it.
I agree with Smitty. I agree with Smitty for the most part. I definitely think Pecco needs to figure it out. I mean, especially this is like his chance to get the number 1 plate back because Martin's not in it, but Mark's in the way, So, some other riders that they need to figure it out is like Jack Miller, Maverick Vinales. I mean, yeah, you're on a different manufacturer, but your talent has to overstep that a little bit. Get some interference somewhere, And then I'm pretty disappointed with for Fermin Aldeguer right now. Like he's not been talked about as much, so like he needs to get it together as well. This would be a good track to figure it out. One thing is I didn't mention is Rexy loves Franco, and I always been like, yeah, okay, I don't think he really got it, but like last race he was on a soft rear tire, and I didn't think it was gonna hold up. Jorge Martin, we see in the past where he burned his tire out and lost a couple places, but he actually pulled it out to get a podium over Pecco, So going into this race in Coda, if Morbidelli can pull it out, I'll say he's back for sure. Okay. But I think he has the best chance for now is for where he stands. I think he's, as long as he can keep his head together, no penalties. Those are my guys that I choose.
Gotcha.
Let's hear it, Jordan. Let's hear
you ready for it? You're ready for it? You ready for it?
Quartararo.
That's number one who needs to get his stuff together. Quartararo.
Okay.
He needs to get his stuff together. Yeah. Number one. Number two, Franco Di Gianantonio. He needs to get it together. Zarco isn't far off, so I was going to put him on there, but I'm actually going to take him off. Maverick. He placed very well at Coda. Couple times.
He won last year. Both races, right?
He won very well at Coda. So I want to see how he comes up. Those are my top three that really need to get their stuff together. And like I said, I think Maverick was the only one who actually broke the Marquez rule.
Mm-hmm. No, Rins.
Rins and Marquez. Yeah.
And I
Rins
think
did it first. No, Rins did it first, then Marquez.
Did Quartararo win one year because Marquez was out?
Not a Coda.
Okay.
Not a Coda.
But you see, Marquez was injured, right, for like out for like a while, right? So I think he might have missed. Yeah. But no, they might have not come to Coda when he was injured.
I don't think they did. But I remember Rins won one and Vinales won one. So they were the only two riders to break Marc Marquez's reign at Coda. So hopefully those two can kind of get it together. And like I said, I want to see some more bumping and grinding, some elbows, man. I want to see some elbows in the pits, man.
All right, okay. Bobby Shakes, man. What are you saying, man?
I don't know if I should even say this. I don't want to get beat up.
Go ahead.
Listen, man. I know where you live. You're going to get beat up.
Morbidelli, I think, has figured it out, right? I think he's figured it out. Pecco needs to figure it out. I mean, come on. I mean, why are we letting this guy off the hook? Right? We know he's not the champion. Aprilia is completely out of handicap. And what they said, what are they saying? He's not even ready yet? They said that he was...
Is that Martin? Bezzecchi, man. Bezzecchi's our guy.
Yeah, Bezzecchi's our guy, but Martin is still... He's not... Hurt. Yeah, he's really slow. They say his progress is slower than what they expected. They expected him to be closer to being ready than he is now. So we know that Aprilia is handicapped. Pecco has to figure out, like Smitty said, Alex Marquez. He has to figure it out. And I don't have it my tinfoil, but he has to figure it out this race. He has to. He's factory seat. He's supposed to be 1-2. That's supposed to be the wedding couple. Right? Those are the two guys. They're supposed to be getting married. And then now he's running off with the Guma, since we're Italian. And the Guma is Alex Marquez. That's the Guma. The Guma, there should be a marriage between Marquez and Pecco, but the Guma is running away with second place. I think Pecco has to figure it out.
Listen, man. Listen. You know what happened? You know what this is? This is Rossi and Lorenzo. Marquez and Bagnaia on the same team. Normally, you don't put two number one riders on the same team. Normally, you don't do that. And it doesn't usually end. It hasn't in the past ended well in Formula One or MotoGP. And so that's on Ducati for putting Bagnaia in this situation. But based on their bottom line, it was well worth it. So I will give my 2 cents. I think Morbidelli has a shot of winning. I think Bezzecchi under Aprilia, because the Aprilia's one there, has a shot of winning, and he's outside of his mistake. I think he would have finished well in the sprint in Argentina, which is a track he's pretty quick at. I'll put Zarco in there because the Honda has won when it was a bad Honda. So, and Zarco is hungry. I mean, if he might grid third or second or maybe even pole position at Coda. So we'll see. So those are my 3 for Coda. The beautiful thing is I'll be there to watch it and see what happens. Hopefully it's not the Marquez 1 and 2, because then I gotta listen to Smitty talk about what again exactly
again.
Hey, don't forget, Rexy, I'm supposed to be in your backpack.
Yes, man, we're working on it, man. We're definitely working on it. We're definitely working on it.
The Guma.
Yeah,
Coda. Let's talk about Moto2 before we get out of here. Jake Dixon ran away with it. Jake in the past has shown flashes of winning races on different manufacturers or different teams, I should say. And he looked really fast at Argentina. Do you think it's another flash? Or do you think because him, Roberts, Canet, some of these guys that's been in Moto2 for 5+ years now should really be dominating Moto2. What are your thoughts on Moto2 ride over the weekend and what's to come?
So Jake the Snake, look, he tell you what, but it's good seeing a non-Spanish guy or non-Italian guy win a race. Nah, it really is. It's different. It's just something different. He's a guy from the UK. I like him a lot. Always like Jake. Seems like a really nice, good, friendly guy. So you know what? I'm glad he won the race. And hope to see him do many more. And I want to see some DEI in MotoGP. Get Jake Dixon up there. We need more diversity. Get some UK riders and US riders in MotoGP.
Okay. So, Listen, let's call it out for what it is for sure. I'm on board with that. What are your thoughts, TJ? Not the DEI spot, just getting them there. Just get there on your skills. But obviously, it's not skills alone that gets you in the MotoGP, World Superbike, and all that. It's connect, and it's a lot of other things, too. So it's not just skills, because all these guys got skills.
I mean, it's good for Jake for sure. I mean, we saw him win a good amount last year, so it's good to see him back on the podium. I was surprised, the gap that he had to win the race. He really took off. He was on another level. And everyone was just fighting the tires and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I've always been rooting for Eric Canet, and for some reason, he's always going to have his struggles. It seems like. I mean, granted, he's always in the front of the pack, but I want to see him, at least get close to winning the championship. I forget who's in front. I think is it Lopez still? Alonso Lopez?
Gonzalez, I believe.
Gonzalez. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I think Dixon did a really good job this weekend. I think, like I said, after the third race, I can kind of pinpoint better, or anyone can. But Coda is another level going into the first 2 races that they had. So we'll see what this challenge is, what these riders are made of, and then if he does well, I say he has a shot too.
Okay, that's what's up, Jordan.
I'm really surprised at Joe Roberts. Finished 16th, 25 seconds behind the winner. Really surprised at him. Not really happy with that, but it is what it is. Sometimes when Joe's on rails, then he makes good. But if I remember the race, he didn't make too many mistakes. Just got swarmed up, and he didn't have the cojones to really hammer down. He had a couple passes he could have made during the middle of the race. He didn't make it. I don't know what was going on in his head, but he wasn't there. Canet, I think he's going to be a hard nut to crack. Can't wait for him to kind of start bumping elbows again. And Darren Bender.
Close enough.
Yeah. he's been making some noise. Always, actually, been making noise for the past 2 years.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm waiting for him to give somebody an uppercut and be like, "Boom, I'm here." Here's South American flag. Here you go, and have that wave up there because we haven't had a South American flag anthem in a long, long, long time.
Brad Bender.
And Anshu also. Yeah. But brother, I'm saying. That's it. Besides him, that was it. Anshu, I'm really expecting a little bit more from him. He didn't really. I don't know what happened that week or that weekend. He just wasn't himself. I don't know if it was, tire pressure or whatever it was. But I was kind of surprised that he ended up in 14th, 23 seconds behind. So hopefully they get it together and then and show some flash. Mostly in turn, I think it's turn 10, hard left. Is it turn 10 or turn 11?
I'm not sure.
Coda?
Yeah, Coda. Is it turn 11, right? Hard left?
I've never been there, but
9, 10.
There's a bunch of lefts.
No, I'm talking about the long straightaway. Stop playing. The long straightaway, the hard left.
Yes.
So 11. That's where everybody's money is going to be on turn 11.
Okay. All right. Bobby Shakes. What's the word?
For Moto 2.
You're happy that a Brit won, right?
I just want to share something with you. Her Britannic Majesty, Secretary of State, requests and requires in the name of Her Majesty all those whom it may concern to allow the bearer to pass freely without hindrance and to afford the bearer such assistance and protection as it may be necessary. God save the king.
What does that mean? Who's going to win? We have no freaking idea.
You know. You know. All my blokes out there, you know exactly what I said. The international show.
It's the one nationality you cannot denounce. It's against the law to denounce your citizenship from Britain. They are bound.
Oh my goodness! Oh my cheeks.
A little bit of history, guys. Well, listen, man. I want to thank you for coming on. I do want to point out, you guys, Marquez. I do think he got lucky in a sense because he had a few issues that he could have lost the bike, and he was able to save it. And he had to push to run with Alex for a bit. He's really good at saving the bike, but he's not going to be able to save the bike the whole season.
Okay, fair point.
Great. We had that conversation before. He ran away with the race only by a couple seconds, followed by Alex. Yeah, got that. But like I said, he saves the bike so much. It's like you expect him to do that. That's right. How he rides the bike. The Honda, the Ducati, you put him on a freaking Schwinn, he's going to do the same freaking thing. So it's a matter of how many times he's going to save it. If he's going to save it enough to where he doesn't fall on his head or, pop a wheelie and blow the motor.
No doubt.
I mean, he did say, I just want to add this real quick before we go. He did say he's riding more beautifully, less aggressive. He's going to ride Joga Benito to all my Brazilians out there. He's playing. He said he wants to ride the bike beautiful this year and less aggressive. But every time I see him going into those turns, he's sliding the bike. So maybe we might. He said he's going to race less aggressive, but in you see. This is Marquez, like it's hard compression on the front brake, right? Then it's wheelies, and then it's sliding. But it looks beautiful. But
I've heard he has less.
Go ahead,
No. I was gonna say I heard he had less engine braking also compared to a lot of the riders. So he does use a lot of brakes and feel, which engine braking can give you a disadvantage a little bit.
No doubt.
So Smitty's right. We may get that one, right? We may get that one, right? Because he's like, seeing him slide that bike into those turns, man.
It's amazing. Yeah.
It is amazing to see. I'm not gonna
You should
lie.
see Brad Bender.
He should just be on a Honda.
If they
He
get
grabs
the
front brake. He's grabbing front brake like MotoGP saying you're no longer going to allow to use front brake. He's grabbing front brake with two hands. He grabs front brake with two hands. My God. Wow. Unbelievable,
Guys. Listen, hey, listen, tell folks how they can find you on social or however you want to be found.
pretty easy to find me. Smitty, Smith Shot Racing. That's it.
Find me TJ 2 Wheels and Coffee, the number 2 Wheels and Coffee with a K on TikTok, Instagram. Sponsors are J&G Performance, Official Vortex, Woodcraft Technologies, and Hideaway RV Rent.
Y'all know what it is. Go check out the link right over there. JL Unlimited, Jordan Long Racing, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I don't have that right about now, so I'm going to get that worked out. But make sure you get me on Instagram, Facebook, and my email, jordanlongunlimited.com.
Well, in the next fortnight, you can catch me at your local cafe shop with my latte and cappuccino as I take a sip and I watch.
Don't forget the pinky.
Yeah, the pinky. The sip of the pinky. It's like a 3 for the stripes for Boston, right? That's where I'll be. At Bobby Shake everywhere. But, 3 for the stripes. Oh, look at that. I predicted a Marquez win. 3 for the stripes for Boston, for the latte. Let's go. At Bobby Shakes everywhere.
No doubt. Oh, I thank everyone for coming on. We're going to do this real soon again, man. Peace.
Peace.